Guess what? Bonelab. I'm not too sure where that was going or how it would have made any sense, kinda like how this video might, and very possibly will, fail, as I have never in my life made a script for a video before. Anyways, back to the main topic of discussion. Bonelab. The popular 2022 hit VR game on Steam and Meta, Oculus Quest 2, based purely around physics. I love physics. It's like one of my favorite things when put into a game. Like, imagine in real life you want to throw somebody off a building. That would be very illegal and you would most likely be sentenced jail time. While in a virtual reality simulation of that very situation, there are absolutely zero repercussions. Notice how I used a big boy word? Repercussions. Anyways, the point being, you can do almost anything in a physics game like these with no consequences, ultimately meaning fun. Now, Bonelab isn't the first of the Bone series. Bonelab is a sequel to the almighty Boneworks. Boneworks is very similar to Bonelab in many ways, other than the story for Boneworks is far longer than Bonelab. Speaking of storylines, Stress Level 0, what the fuck were you thinking when you made the storylines for these games? I personally loved the story after I understood it by watching 8 different breakdown videos on this godforsaken site known as YouTube. The stories are so damn inconsistent, like what's this supposed to be? Corrupted, crazy, shooting purple man? Also, I had no idea, but the entire game exists in a simulation that also has these VR headset looking boys that bring you into another simulation. Am I going into the Matrix, or am I already in the Matrix? Like, once you actually understand the story, then it's cool, but just hopping into either game with no knowledge, while still fun as fuck, is also confusing as all hell. I have never personally finished the Boneworks game, as I have it, but don't have a great PC. Meaning, I can barely even launch the game, let alone run it smoothly. That's actually the main reason I wanted Bonelab, so I could have fun torturing and killing individuals during a drive-by in a go-kart with a frying pan. That leads me to my first bonus to Bonelab. Vehicles. Unlike Boneworks, Bonelab has vehicles. Fully simulated vehicles with fully simulated players riding them, which, for your information, has never been done in VR before. When I say vehicles, I refer to the one vehicle in Bonelab, the go-kart. That is if you don't count the disgustingly nauseating minecart from the mine dive level. I'll get back to that soon. Now, some people don't like how there's only one vehicle in Bonelab. This is where mods come in. My second bonus to Bonelab is how Stress Level 0 added official mod support to this already god of a game. Albeit the mod support supports custom maps and avatars right now, they plan to add more. Even with the limited support, modders have come through adding vehicles, my favorite being the Dodge Charger RT. They also managed to add lightsabers, RPGs, and even fucking portal guns. This game has been out for barely a month and people are this talented? How? Anyways, moving on from mods, we have the levels in the campaign mode. Most of these levels are great with a few exceptions. Remember, these are all my opinions and shouldn't be taken as everybody's. Except for the moon base level, fuck that shit. If you like that, I hope you... Now to start off my list of bad levels, we have Pillar Climb and Monogon Motorway. Pillar Climb used to be a lot worse than it is now, as the base of the level is to climb up a tower while being attacked by purple little butterflies that can change your avatar randomly, which no longer happens. Overall, I give it a 4.5 out of 10 before the update and a 6.5 after. Now, Monogon Motorway, I don't hate this level, it just gets boring. The premise is to drive 3 laps around a racetrack in a go-kart. The only problem is if you crash, you have a good chance of flipping, and because this game is physics-based, and when you play the story you're a weak little shit, it makes it almost impossible to pick up the cart, wasting precious time you could be spending on murder. Good sandbox potential, 7.581209 out of 10. Now for the levels I hate with a passion. First off, we'll cover the moon base level. When the game launched, this level infuriated me, as I could not find the little orb thingy to unlock the avatar. Combined with the low gravity, practically being a baby, and having this ear-piercing music play at full volume 24/7. Now sure, when you're about to walk out onto the moon, there's a map showing you where to go. Does it look like my brain isn't smooth? Like, how would I notice that? I'm stupid as fuck. When the game updated, however, the devs basically fixed every single problem. When you walk outside, you are kindly greeted by a map shoving itself in your face, showing you where to go, along with jump pads to get there faster. But please, Why does the music have to be so loud? Like, come on. 3 out of 10 for the many rehab sessions I took place in. Finally, we have the last level and the most infuriating one to me, called Mine Dive. Now essentially what you do is get on a roller coaster. That's basically it. Now the issue here is that this roller coaster has so many bumps that I get seriously motion sick. For example of how extreme it feels to me, I have literally never been motion sick or car sick in my whole life. The other problem with this level is just how buggy the cart is. Say you get into it standing up and while the ride is going you want to sit instead. Have fun in hell, my friend. Overall, 0.01 out of 10. Would not recommend. Now on to avatars, my third and final bonus. Every base avatar in the game is great on their own, but then you add mods. Mods can add many new avatars like Iron Man, the guy from DC, a Subnautica prawn suit, Master Chief, or even a crablet. The best part about avatars in Bonelab is how depending on how wide or tall an avatar is, the stats automatically apply. Smaller equals weaker, bigger equals stronger. I love this game, but if I had to choose one feature, it'd definitely be the mods, for sure. I mean, there's even capybaras. Who doesn't like those? If I had to rate this wonderful game, I think I'd rate it at a 2.3 out of 2. Well, that's about it for me today. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, please, because it's really easy to make, consider liking. You don't have to subscribe to support me, although it'd be nice. Please do. Just a like helps. Bye!